women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Our Lady Conquistadora, pray for us. Saint Francis and Saint Dominic, pray for us. So today we have the feast in honor of Blessed Contardo Ferrieni, who was a blessed of the Franciscan order, but he was a third order Franciscan, and so he wasn't one of the friars or nuns, obviously, but he was a lay person and lived in the world. He was born in 1849 and died in 1902, so he didn't live that awfully long ago. And he was someone well known, not only in the church, but in academia, I might say. He was a professor. His father had been a professor of mathematics and science, I mean. And he also entered into the field of academics. He became a teacher, a professor in university. And his whole life basically was one of a professor. His specialty was law. He got a double doctorate, one in civil law and one in canon law, which is the law of the church. But his field of study in particular, his main study was the law of the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire, which was the eastern part of the Roman Empire. And that was sort of undergoing flourishing, I guess, in the 19th century, as people were going back to ancient law to discover the roots of their own law. So he was a professor in universities, as I said, but he wasn't just that. In fact, we would be celebrating the feast today if he were only a professor of Roman law history, basically, or Byzantine law history. He was a man devoted to the Blessed Sacrament, devoted to our Lord, and saw our Lord in all aspects of reality. He wrote a beautiful little line about the finding of God in nature, because he liked to hike in the Alps, which is not far from where he was from. He was from the northern part of Italy, near Milan. So he saw in the beauty of nature a reflection of the perfection of God. And that was very Franciscan, actually. As St. Francis saw God in all created things, which is why we had the very famous canticle of the sun, as it's called. Praise be Lord, brother moon and sister sun. All the sort of aspects of nature were called by brother and sister by St. Francis, because St. Francis saw in them the mark of the divinity, that is, God created them, and therefore, because he created them, they show a little bit of the perfection of God. And that was also the mind of Blessed Contardo Ferrieni. He was a third order Franciscan, and he was a member of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, as his father was in that order, or not order, but then a society, and therefore was devoted to the poor, to the needs of the poor as well. So he should give us some kind of hope in a way, because we see someone in the world who is now blessed, beatified by Pius XII. His cause was opened up shortly after his death. He died in 1902. His cause was opened in 1909, I think, by Pope St. Pius X, and then was beatified by Pope Pius XII. So let us ask his intercession that we would become firm in our devotion to our Lord, that we would see God in all that's around us as his handiwork, and especially in the poor, who are in a special way the image of our Lord as he was on this earth. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.